nhìn cánh hồ quê đàn giang yên ninh đất phố in thế đàn đi lo
但是你们难道
刚才也问我啊，我可以回半点去，无可有奉告，我也不高兴。
哎，什么叫中国共产党？党叫干啥就干啥。
黑夜即将到来，一定要做好准备。
干死共产党！不干死共产党，绝不罢休！
消灭中共是正义的需要。
Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Exposing the CCP, and glad to see you again today. We're going to continue to expose the truth regarding the CCP, and welcome Chris and Mr. Truth today, and glad to see you too. Hi, Chris.
Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be on the show again today. Thank you.
Awesome. And also welcome Mr. Truth.
Hello, everyone. Great to see you guys again. And we're going to talk about the CCP virus, the origins and the damages to the humanity. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Awesome. Yeah, although we have mentioned many times since Mild was exposed, the CCP was the manufacturer, maker, and released the CCP virus back in early 2020 or late 2019, and a lot of things has happened. Almost 6 years has passed. I don't know, but we're gonna follow, what's the origin and what is the most recent progress to hold them accountable, and why we can't hold them accountable. The CCP virus pandemic and the vaccine caused millions of deaths around the world. We gotta do something about it. Okay, let's watch the first video, and we'll share our thoughts later.
Americans have never received a vaccination, and more than 70% oppose the third shot. The average number of people who oppose the third shot in the world has reached more than 80%, not 40% or 50%. They can't stop. The evil forces will not stop, and they will not retreat. Next year, after the election, Fauci and Zuckerberg will be the first two to face punishment. This must be their ending. They will undoubtedly end up behind bars. You will see, they will definitely go to jail. Then everyone should remember that in Germany, Australia, and the UK, a certain British intelligence department told me, Britain built 2 concentration camps next to London to prevent a major outbreak. Prior to my live broadcast today, the son of Kathy, the only fellow fighter working at the Himalaya Exchange, contracted COVID. I quickly sent a message to deliver her medicine. I was very nervous because she is a single mother, raising her son alone. The outbreak occurred at her son's school. Isn't it terrible? Now, these people are jabbing their children. Remember, no one can escape the result of the trial. Yesterday, the person who asked Xi Jinping about the life and death question asked, "How many people in the United States do you believe are watching your live broadcast and are affected by you?" I said, 23 million. He said, Miles, you are amazing. We conducted an assessment and found that you have directly impacted 25 million Americans. Americans rank you, Miles Guo, as the leading anti-vaccine hero in their minds. The second one is the bearded doctor, Vladimir Zelenko, and the third is Steve Bannon. This is from official data. In a European survey report, the whistleblower movement was ranked first, followed by Dr. Vladimir Zelenko in second place, and several medical professionals ranked after. The impact of the whistleblower movement is undeniable. This is absolute. The impact of the world's cancer and vaccine-related deaths within 3 to 5 years will definitely be as huge as the extinction of dinosaurs. Brothers and sisters, this is a serious matter. Let me reiterate. How wonderful is it that you chose not to receive a vaccination? You have undoubtedly made the best decision of your life. Even if you receive 2 injections, taking artemisinin and ivermectin will aid in detoxification. Researchers have now proven that ivermectin is almost 100% effective, while artemisinin, when taken in the correct amount, is 100% effective. Ivermectin and artemisinin can definitely eliminate the vaccines. We must continue to spread the word about their potential to save lives.
Yeah, I wish you and your family member have seen this video before, and if there's anything, Miles already told us, the antidote for the COVID-19 and even the vaccine side effect could be artemisinin and ivermectin, in which especially ivermectin, they have been widely adopted by also a lot of good doctors in the United States. Okay, so let's go to Chris. Chris, what's your takeaway for this video?
I think that from the video, I see that after 2021, the number of people getting their first vaccine dose increased, but however, by now in 2025, the vaccination rate is gradually declining. The public has begun to distrust the vaccines and no longer wants to receive so many poisoned, harmful shots. And after the election, Fauci and Zuckerberg will be held accountable, punished, and sent to prison. I think this probably refers to after the 2026 midterm elections, because there are still many hearings in progress. So it won't happen very soon. There is a process that need to go, and also that the doctor. Wait, no. And as for the shelter hospital for the quarantine back then, they were completely useless facilities. That's why there's no more such thing in 2025. After entering the shelter hospital for COVID quarantines, not only did the infections worsen, but ventilators and remdesivir would even accelerate death. So the real solution for the CCP virus and the real solution to get healthy is adequate rest, adequate nutrition, adequate sunlight, adequate exercise, and correct medications are the proper method to treat CCP virus infections. And we know that Mr. Miles Guo was the first person to tell the world that the derivative of artemisinin, artesunate annual, is the antidote for CCP virus. And also that Dr. Vladimir Zelenko's protocol can also effectively treat COVID CCP virus. And also that on Mr. Bannon's War Room Show live broadcast, many doctors were invited to suggest effective treatment methods, such as Dr. Naomi Fox and Dr. Pierre and Dr. McCollum. Their treatment also works. So that's how important GTV was, because during that time, GTV was the only platform that people can speak out the truth and won't be filtered. But we know that GTV is now under the lawsuit, but I think in the future, the justice system will prove that GTV is not illegal, and GTV will get the right treatment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris, for reviewing the history. Yes, exactly. I almost forget. At that time, it was GTV, and then the Getter was established, and now we have all this free speech platform, and everyone can share their opinions, especially not censored by the mainstream media. So that's very good. Okay, now, Mr. Truth. So I guess we all didn't take the vaccine thanks to Miles Gore, right?
Absolutely. We're so grateful Miles Gore told us first not to take in the jabs. Not only that, I think we've been passing information to our friends, relatives, families inside China. Some of them listen, and some of them under the CCP's regulations. If you don't take the jabs, then you cannot travel. They actually frozen your bank account. And everyone use WeChat, which is a CCP's platform for your everyday information and social media, as well as for make a payment in daily purchases. Because if you don't get vaccinated, then unless you carry cash and don't travel too far, then you cannot. If you have a job, employed, then your boss will force you to take it. Otherwise, you couldn't. But the same situation happened, I remember, in Australia, in the West, where when the CCP's virus come over, and then it was like alerted every person who had been infected when they travel, say, from Sydney to Melbourne and so on. They track, the authority follow the tracks and ensure that every shops, including if you go to a noodle bar, and then you afterwards a group of the girls, I remember, from Melbourne fly to Sydney, go to noodle bar first, and then go to a cake places where eat cakes and have some drinks, and then they went to a bar to have some beer and so on. You know what happened? Once they have tracked them, all the shops were shut down immediately. You know how terrible it is for the business. I remember a lot of shops since then, they don't open for 2 or 3 months. By the time they open, they just go bankrupt. So that virus, so-called, and then the censorship has allowed the business we now go bankrupt. A lot of airlines will also go bankrupt as well, like Sydney airport. There's just so many airlines because people cannot travel. Then they just parked on the runways around for months. Can you imagine that? And theoretically, practically, they all go bankrupt. I don't know how they later on fly again. I think the taxpayers' money must be provided, a financial treatment that allow them to go on, but it's still in public expenses. So the economy suffered, freedom suffered, and we were using GTV to broadcasting that every day. But we're very thankful for Miles Gore create the GTV platform for us. But I think later on was censored as well. I think it was shut down by the United States government. So that was a really terrible experience. But despite of that, we need to ask where the virus come from. And there's no doubt that it's come from, made by the CCP's Wuhan P4 lab. And it is released intentionally to the world. Why? Because I remember the just a couple of nights before Chinese New Year, okay, in 2020 or 2021, early January, Wuhan airport was all shut, domestic airport, and with any interflights from Wuhan is in the center of China, remember. Okay, the flight is so much in between, and people need to go for Chinese New Year in a couple of days, but they can do that. But you cannot do that anymore. But you can fly from Wuhan to the rest of the world capitals, like they're allowed to do that. So that's where they use the human to carry on the virus. And then within 3-4 days, when they land in Tokyo, then Tokyo start to have the CCP virus. When you land in New York, I mean, you see New York City, the body was piled. They go to emergency treatment but they don't have adequate masks, even medical accessories, equipment. So the body was dead, piled. They don't have frozen facilities, so they use trucks to frozen the bodies and bury it. I think that was all live streamed by the CNN, especially, and everyone get fearful. And then a few weeks later, that is the vaccination come out. So you were wondering, vaccination, when you have the virus first, you suppose they have like 10 years safety experiment to ensure the vaccination is safe. And number one. Number two, how do you call a vaccination by scientific definition if it is not, a human tested for safety data? Oh, that is a big question. Now we know what it is. So it's coordinated by the CCP with the the evil force together to gain population control globally, and also I think it's a human genocide for some of the commentators and said. So I'll just stop here, and Z, you can continue. Thank you.
Right, there's so much information regarding this virus. We can probably talk this endless for 24 hours. But let's focus on a really important updates recently. We need to hold Dr. Fauci accountable. Let's check out the second video.
Welcome back to National Report. Okay, Trump administration 2.0 is back in charge. Are you hopeful that they actually get to the bottom of COVID-19?
We're excited about the Trump administration actually helping. We've been through several years of the Biden administration actually trying to hide the ball, covering up what had happened, obscuring the truth, and really refusing to give any records concerning this. I've been trying for over 3 years to get non-classified records about the decision to fund the research in Wuhan, and it's been denied. But I can tell you, under Secretary Kennedy, under Jay Bhattacharya, the records are beginning to flow. And what we're discovering is, yes, they did debate over whether or not it was gain of function. Fauci said everybody said it was not gain of function. Well, we're going to get to the bottom of this. And ultimately, Dr. Fauci is going to need to come back in and explain why he made this decision. There ultimately will be an interview, either voluntarily or involuntarily. If he won't come, he will have to come back and explain to the American people why he decided to fund this research in China. This may be one of the greatest medical errors in modern history, and he bears a large part of the responsibility for this.
Yeah, I think a hearing of Anthony Fauci has been going for many, many years, but somehow he got away from his crime that he committed. So hopefully this time we're going to make some progress. And what's your thought, Chris?
Senator Rand Paul has been continuously investigating the truth about the CCP virus in Congress. The questions Senator Rand Paul asked Fauci during the hearings could make Fauci guilty for perjury, for lying in the hearings. And so the question is, what is gain-of-function research? In a laboratory environment, pathogens are modified through genetic engineering or other methods to acquire new or enhanced functions, such as increasing transmissibility, virulence, adaptability to specific hosts, or altering transmission routes. The CCP virus increased viral toxicity through the insertion of a furin cleavage site that is developing bioweapon viruses. And the hearings are all still going. The truth and accountability regarding the CCP virus are ongoing by Senator Rand Paul, Secretary Kennedy, and Mr. Jay Bhattacharya, and also Tulsi Gabbard. So ultimately, Fauci and Zuckerberg will definitely be held accountable and pay the price, just like what Mr. Maxwell said in the previous video. And I think that not only in the West, but also in the East, Xi Jinping and Wang Qishan and these high-level CCP officials who gave orders also need to undergo the Nuremberg trial because they all committed crime against humanity. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. These very critical investigation that is crucial for preventing future biological attacks to our normal people. Okay, now, Mr. Truth.
Yeah, thanks for the information, Chris, you provided. And then what I want to say is, you know, how or what, why knowing the gain of function, you know, results has been used for, I think, being American for Europe for somewhat 40 years, been continued to do the research, but then it was banned by the U.S. government due to its unknowing and uncontrollable effect. Once you change, you know, you alter a DNA structure of a pathogen or viruses. So gain of function research is you enhance the function of what the biogen was. And then unless you done there's so many deviants come out, then most likely theoretically you lose control. That's why it was banned. So why it's done in the Wuhan P4 lab? Okay, number one, because I think some evil forces, people like Fauci, and they just want to continue with the research. I think CCP wanted as well in the military biological bioweapon library, like such as P4 lab in Wuhan. So I think then that's what happens. But then there is a story about how Dr. Fauci also know later on the director of Wuhan P4 lab. Okay, so Wang Yanyi is the person, and then what happened is we can talk about that next time. But we know that it's through CCP's BGY. Okay, use honey traps, and to get to the Fuji. You know, Wang Yanyi, before she became a biologist, so-called expert, she was actually studied the music. She doesn't have any scientific background, really. Doesn't graduate in China from undergraduate degree in science, definitely not in biology. It is that when his husband, you know, came to United States, and he is a top expert in biology research, and then she come along, okay, with him, in the same time enrolled for a master degree in biology. I mean, this is funny. If you never study any basic mathematics in undergraduate degree, can you do a master degree in mathematics? I doubt it. You don't have the foundation, okay? So, but then she got a master degree in biology, and later on, with that knowledge, then I think they got to know each other between Dr. Fauci and Wang Yanyi. Later on, the top scientist and also director for Wuhan P4 lab, military P4 PLA's lab. And that's how they got to each other. I think there are rumors about they probably have some kind of relationship, allowed Dr. Fauci to, you know, maybe, I don't know, willing to give the gain of function research provider also found as well from United States government, and or get BGY, they have to provide that. So we don't know, but I think both are possibilities, and they want to do that. So what is the effect will reflect what could happen. Okay, it's that in the end of the day, so Fauci continuously lied to the Congress when was questioned about the, why would they do that and all that kind of questions. And I think people can just read that. I think a lot of people know about it now. So what we're saying is I think it's a joint work between the Wuhan lab, also World Health Organization, and the U.S. technology provided by Dr. Fauci, and there's also organization. It's like a health alliance kind of thing. Okay, also provide through which there's a lot of documents people can read about it. So in a nutshell, it is because the CCP want use the virus to control their own people, but also want to use that as a biological weapon to kill Americans, kill white. They have a plan, just kill the white plan. And this is what precisely happened with Dr. Fauci's help, and also lie to Americans about the devil effects of killing millions of hundreds, maybe tens of thousands, millions of people during the first couple of years. Yet we need to find out exactly. But definitely, by some commentators, scientists, it said the number of people killed by the virus, especially by the jabs, by the vaccination, okay, is more than World War II combined together, and the people still dying from the side effects of all kinds, So that's what I think people need to know and need to ask what exactly happened and hold them accountable, especially CCP and Dr. Fauci, whoever involved. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And if you have some questions about the evidence, let's look at the Miles Guo's video back in 2023 about the relationship between the CCP and Fauci.
COVID-19 origins in the United States will eventually bring some crucial questions to light. How did Fauci fund the Wuhan Institute of Virology? Through what channels? Why did he provide the CCP with the technology for gain-of-function experiments? Why did he later conceal the fact of human-to-human transmission of the virus? Furthermore, in mandating vaccine injections, did Fauci personally take the vaccine? What is his financial involvement with Pfizer and Moderna? Does he have financial ties to figures like Bill Gates? And does he know Wang Yanni and her husband? No one in the world has discussed the personal relationship between Fauci and Wang Yanni. I believe the truth behind the virus and the vaccine disaster will come to light instantly when it is exposed. When people find out that the Wuhan Institute of Virology, scientists worldwide, and reputable media were manipulated by these two people, it will be a tragedy for humanity. Consider the scenario: the world's leading virus expert and the director of the Wuhan Institute of Virology, where COVID-19 originated, have never met. Yet, Fauci provided Wang Yanni with funding and technology that led to the development of COVID-19. When the virus emerged, he helped to cover it up, and the two leaders have never seen each other. That's quite a significant matter.
I mean, clearly, the evidence should be there. The Congress and FBI should investigate immediately into this issue and hold them accountable, because I don't understand. Millions of people have died during this pandemic, and there is also potential of future biological attacks coming from the evil CCP and also the sellout in America. So we got to be very, very careful and cautious for this matter. And Mr. Truth, so what do you think?
I think I agree with you totally. Exactly. We need to hold the bad guys accountable, because this is something never happened in humanity, and it's happened right in front of us over the last 5 years or so, and so many people lost their lives. We know that there's some of friends and so on, they're not old. I just have one mate who grow up together, and I told him not to take this, and he said no problem. Okay, he didn't take it. After a few months, then I called him. I said, well, "Where are you?" He said, "I'm in hospital, nearly died." That's what happens. He said, suddenly my mouth and nose shoot out with blood. Well, I see. That's funny. I mean, you're a very strong man, exercises, doing kung fu and so on. So very active. He said, I'm sorry. I sort of, what you told me, not take the jabs. I saw what probably you just want to make sure, but I didn't think it was so serious. So what happened? I need to go to out of the province to travel and to get the train tickets and so on. They have to show the jab certificate. So I just went to do the one jab. I don't know the next day. And I feel unwell, and then day after, I just feel almost like a dying. I only took one shot, and then blood come out. So they drive about 4 hours and make sure I get to the provincial hospital for treatment. Here I am. I spend about 50,000 RMB, which is 8,000 US dollars for that week. Now all my symptoms is under control. I say we'll go take a ivermectin and artemisinin and don't do that again. When his son didn't do it, he just did it. His wife didn't do it. So because he's a businessman, he has to travel. So this is really something, you can't all forget how evil the jabs, the vaccination, so-called COVID vaccine is. It's all poison. It's a personal experience, happened to someone very close to me. I'm sure there's so many of others we see on there, people just dying suddenly and have cancer, terrible cancer early. I think based on personal experience and so many doctors come out. I remember some doctors prescribe the ivermectin and have the license stripped off in American, but also in Australia we know of. But recently they have a court cases and he win it. So now he's got his license back and he's a hero doctor, where himself didn't get jabbed. I also have friends in the medical industry. They told me when they mandate the jabs, there's so many nurses out of the whole hospital. They're short of staff, and that's why result in so many people died in the emergency section because they don't have enough taker, and also doctors who knows about that. The definition of vaccination is not there. Okay, it's not common sense. You have to. So it must be something of a political evil nature. Plus, every country in the West, you have to sign off your sovereignty away to make decision who should take the what vaccination. You have to take that. But now I think Trump administration have refused to sign that same deal with Dr. Tedros, the head of the World Health Organization. I think many countries will follow. I hope, but many of them, some of them already also signed as well. So I think this whole thing will continue to go in unless whole humanity take those bosses accountable and put them in jail, in trial, and let everyone know what happened. Then there's so many people died as well. So we must hold them accountable. And we need a 3 mile score to do that because he knows all the intel what happened. Okay, exactly. That's why partially he been locked up as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing, Mr. Truth. These are very critical information. Now we go to Mr. Chris. Hi, Chris.
Hi. Like from the video, I record like 7 questions that asked from Mr. Masco. The first question is that how did Fauci funded the Wuhan Institute of Virology, through what channel? So Anthony Fauci, as the director of a NIAID through NIH via NIAID provided a 3.7 million grant to EcoHealth Alliance, of which approximately $600,000 was transferred to the Wuhan Institute of Virology. And the second question we got from the video is that why did Fauci provided gain-of-function research technology to the CCP? So gain-of-function research refers to enhancing the transmissibility or pathogenicity of viruses through experiments, which is essentially manufacturing biological weapon, a method of executing population and reducing plans, using viruses to create panic and guide to public to receive toxic vaccines, and also disrupting the first term of President Trump's administration, which is the CCP's 13579 plan. And the third question from the video is, why did Fauci later conceal the fact of human-to-human transmission of the virus to mislead the public, making them think the virus originated from bats, not man-made? This is part of the plan, concealing human-to-human transmissions, smoothly executing the mission, hiding criminal evidence, not letting the public know the truth, reducing populations, killing to destroy evidence, not wanting to be held responsible for committing crime against humanity and mass murder. And also the fourth question is that, has Fauci personally received the vaccines? Fauci pretended to get vaccinated in front of the camera, but I think that he used a fake needle. The needle did not pierce in the skin, and the liquid in the vaccine was not injected into the skin. Or maybe it could be also just the saline solution. It's not like the real vaccine inside the injection. And the fifth question is, what is Fauci's financial relationship with Pfizer and Moderna? So Robert F. Kennedy Jr. revealed that the National Institute of Health received royalties from the Moderna vaccines. Moderna's earning report shows that $400 million was paid to NIAID, which is part of NIH. NIH not only owns half of the Moderna vaccine's shares, earning billions of dollars, but also 4 to 6 senior deputies under Fauci can earn up to $150,000 annually from it. The National Institute of Health, led by Fauci, received vaccine royalties. This is a conflict of interest. The sixth question is, how does Fauci have financial ties with figures like Bill Gates? The Gates Foundation, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, provided a grant to EcoHealth Alliance in 2020 for health research projects. Meanwhile, Fauci, as the director of AI and NIAID, provided a grant to EcoHealth through NIH from 2014 to 2019, part of which was transferred to the Wuhan Institute of Virology. So they both funded EcoHealth, and EcoHealth then funded the Wuhan Institute of Virology. And then the last question is that, does Fauci know Wang Yanyi and her husband? Like as Mr. 007 mentioned before, what he said it was right. And also I want to add is that Wang Yanyi is Fauci's mistress. Wang Yanyi's husband is Su Hongbin, and Wang Yanyi's father is Wang Qisan. Wang Yanyi is the key puzzle piece. Fauci at that time allocate funds to the Wuhan People Lab to research CCP virus. The person managing this lab is Wang Yanyi. She not only controls the funds, but is also the highest responsible person in the lab. Wang Yanyi became the director of the Wuhan People Virology Institute at the age of 30. This is not a This is a biochemical weapons institute controlled by the CCP military. Not something ordinary scholars can touch, but we know who is behind Wang Yanyi. That's why she got promoted to that position. And Wang Yanyi's husband, Su Hongbin, is the vice president of Wuhan University, a member of the Thousand Talent programs. And like Mr. 007 mentioned that Su Hongbin was Wang Yanyi's teacher during her student times. So Wang Yanyi was born in 1981. The same year, Wang Qisan entered the Beijing leadership government. Fauci provides money and technology. Wang Yanyi receives money and technology to create the CCP virus. So the CCP manufactured and released CCP virus, inducting the whole world to receive toxic vaccines. So if the I think what Mr. Mausgo asked those questions, and these questions can be answered during the hearings, I think it will help the public to know the truth about CCP virus. Thank you.
Thank you so much for both of you. It was a great program today. We're exposing more truth, and hopefully people are taking more cautions about this and take quick actions as well. Okay, so time to wrap up. So a few more minutes for Mr. Truth and then Chris, and we're going to wrap up the show. Now, first, Mr. Truth, please.
Thank you. So I think all our audience must be pay attention to what Chris just said. Wang Yanyi. Okay, Wang Yanyi's husband is 10,000 talent programs scientist. Okay, also the vice president of Wuhan University. They joined together studying with Wuhan lab. And Wang Yanyi is Wang Qisan, who is the vice president of CCP, okay, of China, and her daughter, okay. But that information is new to me, but I'm not surprised. Otherwise, you could not possibly get to that position in that young age, okay. But also mentioned that before, we know from some intel, Wang Yanyi is based university degree is only music, okay, instrument. I think it's like a violin or something. And how could she enroll a master degree of biology program in the United States, spend with her husband, who is a top expert in biology, weaponry, and then Su Hongbin happened to be her teacher and supervisor to allow her graduate from the university. So that's a fake. I mean, you could not possibly become a top expert really in that depth while you don't have any foundational work. So that's the second thing. And the third thing is Wang Qisan always said to the West that do not let me open the Pandora box. So which means that we got this virus, CCP's COVID-19 virus. We tested in the Wuhan military sports activity exhibition. That's just 1 year ago before the release. A lot of people get sick, including myself. I happened to be in Wuhan, okay, for a week. I stayed in a 5-star hotel. I remember that's also where the military exhibition and the sports activity was happening worldwide. And it was released. Why? Because when I come back, I start coughing some blood, and the lungs feels terrible, and it did like someone injured my chest, which never happened before, and I'm normally very healthy, and I spent a month to recover from it. Okay, but of course later on, I just realized that that's what happened when I see the news. Okay, I didn't realize there was a thing the sports game for the world military, sports game. Basically, all the military personnel come along to have that game, and the CCP released the virus. They also released the virus into Hong Kong as well, trying to control Hong Kong's protests. Okay. So they done all that in Xinjiang, in Tibet, and killed so many of Chinese people. Then they decide it's time to release out, and they did it with all the precision of coordination together with Dr. Fauci and the World Health Organization. So we must hold those bad guys accountable, and they have to be accountable for what they've done to humanity. Thank you. Back to Z.
All right, thank you much for both of you. Sorry, I gotta go. I have I don't want to be late today again. Really happy to share all these with you. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next Wednesday.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's take down the CCP.
他们的恐惧是我们的武器，我们的胜利。谢谢了，兄弟姐妹们，你们健身了吗？行动，行动，行动！中共，你完了 ！Take down the CCP！
beginning for the games you want to play. Bring it on and I will fight to the end. Just watch and see. It's all started, everything's begun, and you are over. Cause we're taking down the CCP. Spread the word all through Hong Kong. We will fight till they're all gone. We rejoice when there's no more. Let's take down the CCP. They have all lied for too long. We will end what they do wrong. Spread the word all through Hong Kong. Let's take down the CCP. Let the bullets fly a little longer, and you will surrender. Let the bullets fly a little longer. We will have freedom to live. We will win. You'll surrender. Let the bullets fly a little longer. Let the bullets fly a little longer.
中共，
Let the bullets fly a little
你
longer.
完了！
Let the bullets fly a little longer.
中共，你完了！干灭中国共产党这个 CCP， 还能让我们远离恐惧。Take down CCP。
They try to scare the nation with fabrication, but we see through the lies. We won't fall, we will fight you back. Police corruption with crooked assumption. They ran our lives, but no more. We will win. We will take down the CCP. Spread the word all through Hong Kong. We will fight till they're all gone. We rejoice when there's no more. Let's take down the CCP. They have all lied for too long. We will end what they do wrong. Spread the word all through Hong Kong. Let's take down the CCP. Let the bullets fly a little longer, and you will surrender. Let the bullets fly a little longer. We will have freedom to live. We will win. You'll surrender. Let the bullets fly a little longer. Let the bullets fly a little longer.
站起来吧！
Let the bullets fly a little longer.
站起来吧！
Let the bullets fly a little
为
longer.
奴役的人
Let
们
the bullets fly a little longer.
行动！
Let the bullets fly a little longer.
行动！
Let the bullets fly a little
你
longer.
完了
Let the bullets fly a little longer.
！Take down CCP。
Bullets fly a little longer, and you will surrender. Let the bullets fly a little longer. We will have freedom to live. We will win. You'll surrender. Let the bullets fly a little longer.
Take down
Let the bullets fly a little
CCP。
longer.
Take down
Let the bullets fly a little
CCP。
longer.
Take down
Let the bullets fly a little
CCP。
longer.
Take down
Let the bullets fly a little
CCP。
longer.
Take down
stronger.
Take down the evil CCP.